Hi everyone, Oleg here. Sorry, it's been a long day and I recently just came back home from a day of training and coaching and training and coaching, so it's been a long day. Alright, let me get me on the screen real quick here. Anyway, I'm going to start by reading some of your comments, and again, I appreciate you guys, all of your kind words and your support and all that stuff, so definitely look forward to making as many videos as I possibly can. And I tried recording a double three turns video, but it didn't like the video quality, and so I'm going to re-record that. I still have to do some additional videos for you in terms of the Hydroblade videos. I'm going to have to record that because the one I recorded in Canada was not the quality I wanted. Well, anyway, a lot of stuff coming up, and just stay tuned. Meanwhile, let's get to your comments. Just one second here. Just making sure I got everything set up here and that I'm broadcasting properly. Okay, let's hit up some of the comments. Okay, so Yasmin, and again, I'm sorry if I get your names wrong, wrote, Yasmin Tahrir wrote, thank you for your amazing video, so helpful. I am glad to be a part of your skating, Yasmin, as well as everyone else's. I really enjoy doing this, and I do as much as I can. So, you know, sometimes there's gaps when I'm not making videos. It's mostly because I'm just too busy working and training. But I am trying to get back to more of a consistent basis again. I've moved across country a little over a month ago, so things are still getting established, but eventually there'll be a more consistent pattern, at least I hope so, and then you'll kind of know when to expect videos and so forth. Well, anyway, let's continue with the comments. We have Nicole Park wrote, I just pretend I'm a bunny. It helps me with my jumps and knee bends, age 23. Yeah, that works. This is in relation to 105, the loop. And yeah, whatever helps, you know, if thinking of yourself as a bunny works, go for it. It's good stuff. Okay, so then we're going to work through here. Let's see here. We got a question here. Okay, and this is in relation to episode 111. Let me put this on the screen real quick here. I'm going to switch myself out real quick. Alright, here we go. Okay, so this, first I'm going to read his comment and then be able to figure this out. Just a second here. Okay, this looks like a good exercise for improving takeoffs and strikeoffs in the adult gold back 8. The inside portion of this, the old compulsory figure 8, is harder for me than the outside because I'm simply not generating enough speed to easily carry me through. I think I'll try this exercise with an inside edge and swizzling foot to the inside, as this will probably help my inner back figure pushes. Okay, so let's watch the video and I'm going to talk about this real quick. Alright, so in this case, this is a half swizzle pump. This is a move that works on generating your back pushes. I've talked about this video before, and I'm gonna make some additional videos for you in terms of swizzles, and this is a backward one. There's a forward version as well. And yeah, you could use this exercise for generating push. One thing I'll talk about, and this is probably going to be a topic of the first portion, is power generation. Okay, so when you're doing a 2-foot push like this, you want to be careful so that, here we go, I'm going to put this on full screen. You want to be pushing back here, so your body weight should be concentrated over the pushing foot, and you want to roll from the heel through to the ball, heel through to the ball. That's going to give you the power. What often happens, especially on 2-foot pushes, is skaters put their body weight between the 2 feet, or they transfer their body weight too soon. And you can try this sometime. Transfer your body weight completely off the pushing foot and then try to push off. And you're going to notice that you have no acceleration because there's nothing to push with, essentially. There's no weight in the foot, no force to generate. So what you want to do is think about that. And I'm going to go over into 1-foot pushes as well, and we're going to talk about that. So power generation is going to be the topic of today. Alright, so let's go into some additional videos. We're going to go to my website, stansoroleg.com. Okay, and then we go to videos. Alright, as you can see, I still haven't updated some of the videos. Sorry. Anyway, from coaching all day, and I'm starting to lose my voice a little bit. But if you go through here, I'm going to find some exercises that will get you that idea. Okay, let's look at this. So this one, let's see if it might be slow enough. We haven't looked at this one yet in this series. So let me turn down the volume and... Okay, so here we go. So this is a quick forward inside edges video, and what happens here is, now what I have to do is I have to make sure that my body weight, my pushing foot, is concentrated through this heel, and that way I can push off with it onto the new foot. So we go here, and then in this one, this is not quite exactly what I was talking about earlier. These are kind of quick ones, so I'm going to have to keep pausing it constantly. But let's watch here. There we go. So I carve out the edge, and then as I go to push, I try to concentrate myself. I feel my body weight riding that heel. Now, if I put this foot down, see how it's in the air? If I put it down, and then try to do the same push right here, I will not have the same amount of force. See how I try to finish myself out through this foot? This is still in the air. I haven't put it down yet. So let me continue. Here, same thing. I'm going to wait till I come back around here. Just jump ahead. Here we go. And this is when I'm carving out the edges. But what you got to do here, again, if you're trying to push from one foot to the other, concentrate your body weight over the pushing foot. Don't put the new foot down too soon. All right, now, let's see where we're at. Just one second here. Get myself back on the screen. I'm going to take a look at some of your comments here real quick. Alright, so I'm going to just say hi to members of the stream right now. Okay, Dallas Roster wrote, any tips for beginners? Hi, Dallas. Okay, let me just ask the question. So, in this case, the question is, any tips for beginners? Yes. That's a short answer. But, I mean, I can talk for 100 hours. I mean, if you put me down to it. I could, I mean, and you've clocked in all the videos eventually. By the time, you know, the whole series is run, I'll probably have, hopefully, thousands of videos and hundreds of hours. And all of this, or majority of it, relates to beginner to intermediate level of skating. But specifically, because it's just a broad topic, I'd want to hear from you in what regard you're interested, as in, are you talking about training time, specific exercises, tips for getting skates, and so forth. So just hit me up in the messages, and then I'll be happy to clarify. Okay, so then, here we go. I wanted to cover one other thing here before we move on to the next episode here. What I do is I break up the videos into 2 portions or 3 portions, depending on how long I talk, because what happens is when I make like 45-minute videos or 30-minute videos, just for some people it's just too long, and it becomes a problem for people finding the things that they're looking for. Okay, so here's a good question. John B. wrote, hi Oleg, thank you for these detailed insights. On one of your live streams, can you talk about how to help keep hips from sticking out? E.g., what are the things to watch out for? Okay, that we can definitely do. Let's do that right now. And that's going to be the second topic of this episode. Here we go. I'm going to change this out real quick here, get myself off, and we're going to look at a video. Okay, I'm going to go on my channel, istansoreleg.com, go to videos, and then we're going to look at some of the playlists. Let's start right here. We're going to start with off ice. So I stand for Oleg off ice. And then we go down to episode 11, axis of stability exercise for control. Okay, we're going to open that up. Okay, so right here, this is a great exercise. I've talked about this before, but this is something I'll keep bringing up again and again. If you notice, there's a lot of things that reoccur, and that is skate through your heels, press and rise before press before pushing, and then I talk about presses and rises, and the importance of smooth knee and ankle action, and maintaining your axis, the hip shoulder, the heel axis, or the axis of stability, as I call it interchangeably. So right here, what you do is this is a wall presses exercise. And if you do this right, you do this every day, get used to this position, your hips are not going to stick out. So you got your heels against the wall, your hips against the wall, your shoulders against the wall. And we're going to press and rise them. We're going to watch. Here we go. Come all the way straight. Make sure you push your knees all the way back, all the way down, all the way straight. Push them back. You want to feel your kneecaps pushing back this way. Pushing back and all the way down. And then all the way up and push back. You want to try to keep the small of your back against the wall. You shouldn't be able to fit your hand behind your back right here. Great exercise. You do this, you get used to this position, you skate through your heels. And then what happens is you're gonna do this on the ice as well. So let's go into videos real quick. Alright, so okay, so let's find it here. Backward 2-foot double presses. We can use this one. I haven't put it up on my channel yet, but I will soon. Okay, now. Alright, and let's get a sideways look here. Okay. Here we go. So you do a swizzle and then you press. Again, you have your hip, shoulder, heel axis. You try to maintain this line right here. And you rise. Try to maintain that same line. Again, you're going to press down. Hip, shoulder, heel axis. Now, you can bend a little bit and then, your hip might still stick out a little bit. You might lean forward a little bit. That's okay. It becomes a problem when your hips are sticking out way past your heels. Like if you can draw a line, hip, shoulder, heel axis through there, that's good. But if it's really sticking out, it becomes a problem. Now, when you're practicing this, how do you know? Well, for one thing, I'm going to do a swizzle now, but you can look at yourself in the glass as you're passing by it. So right here, you can, like if I turn my head and let's say I'm down here closer to the boards, I can actually see myself in the reflection and then see what my axis is. Now here's the thing though, this is very good and it's important, but let me explain something. Skating can be a little messy in terms of if you focus nothing else but control. If you're like, okay, I want to have this perfect axis and I want to have the most controlled edges, that's great, but you're going to kind of get stuck at a certain level where you're going to feel very smooth and very in control, but your speed is going to be very, very slow. So it's better to be a little messier, but to be faster and stronger. And I mean, that's my opinion, and it's just, you're going to get there faster in terms of like, if you always push yourself. Now, here's the thing, don't be wild. These are all control exercises, but control exercises are just one part of the picture. Let me just get myself back on here real quick. Okay, so what happens is you have to have a lot. I mean, there's like dozens of different things that you need. You need speed, flow, you need artistry and expression and so forth. And you need strength, control, agility, flexibility. All those things, they all come together. And you can't just say, okay, I'm going to just take control and I'm just going to stick with it and master that and that's going to be my one thing. Well, I mean, I've seen skaters that have actually tried that, and I've worked with skaters where, again, they have developed a very high level of control but at a very slow speed. So that's something that you ultimately want to break past and not get stuck there. And here's a great example. Okay, when you have children learning how to skate, they're pretty messy in terms of like, their arms might flop around and stuff, but they go for things and they just keep going. And at first it's messy. And when you work with kids, especially like young kids, usually the challenge is to get them to control themselves. And when you work with adults, usually it's the challenge to get them to be a little less rigid. So it's kind of like, I mean, like, this is a very broad topic, and again, I am only talking it in very broad strokes. Each skater is unique and has their own specific needs, things that they need to improve on. But just keep in mind that control is one aspect, and if I had to choose whether a skater's hips were sticking out a little too much, but they were skating twice as fast than what that exercise I was showing you, I'd say, yeah, go for it. Because I can work with a skater like that and just, like, get them to fix their hips because they have the speed and the control otherwise. It's just one of those things. Now, like I said, it's a broad topic and it varies from skater to skater, but work on the control and work on everything else, especially push speed and flow as much as you can, but of course try not to hurt yourself. Be reasonable. Don't do anything crazy. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up this portion of the video, and I'm going to stop it and then restart it in about a minute, and that will create another episode. And I do this because this is the easiest way to break it up into chapters, so to speak. Otherwise, it's going to be like a 40-minute long video, and it's going to be hard for people to find what they're looking for. Alright, so stay tuned. I am not going anywhere, and just give me 1 minute to reset everything.